So many people are moving into Lexington and the Central Kentucky area, and today I want to share with you 7 reasons why people love moving into Lexington and Central Kentucky. By the end of this video, you'll be asking yourself, why don't I move into Lexington or Central Kentucky? From the horse capital of the world to the tight-knit communities to the bourbon culture, there's so much to do here. The weather here is mild. We don't really have the hot and extreme cold climates that maybe some other areas have, and really some of the friendliest neighborhoods anywhere. We're going to be looking at parks. We're going to be looking at things to do and activities. So stick with me. We're going to dive in right now. Reason number 1 people love to move into Lexington and Central Kentucky is the cost of living and the price of homes here. As of August of 2025, just last month, the average price of closed houses here in the Lexington area is just under $140,000. So when you compare that maybe to some bigger metropolitan areas, maybe like Louisville, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Lexington is a real value. Now this number, $340,000, it's likely much less if you're looking in towns like Frankfort, Georgetown, Lawrenceburg, Richmond. Some of those areas we're going to get a much lower price. But in Lexington, as of last month, just under $340,000. So according to Moving Waldo, the average cost of living for a single person here in Lexington is around $1,800 a month, and that would include your rent, your utilities, transportation, and groceries. Now, for a family of 4, you're going to increase that significantly to about $4,500 a month, and that included a rental or purchase for your housing at around $2,500 a month. And so looking at that, we think about housing at $2,500 a month. We go back to our $340,000 average sales price, and if you had 3.5% down, that would put your house payment, not counting your insurance and taxes, right about $2,510 a month. So really the cost of renting here as opposed to what it would cost to purchase a house, really be in your best interest to make that investment, if you can, into a property here. When you think about cost of living and affordability, you can see why that is our number 1 reason for moving into Lexington.
Location, location, location. That is reason number 2 why people are choosing to move into Lexington or anywhere really in Central Kentucky. So I'm going to jump into my map. I want to show you exactly what I mean. Now here we are. I wanted to show you the full view of Lexington. This is all of Fayette County, and it kind of gives you the borders all the way around it. And so by being able to zoom out, it'll kind of give you a good view of where we are really within the state of Kentucky. Now you can see just over here to our west, we have Louisville. We can see just up here to our north, we have Cincinnati. And if we go down just a little bit here, you can see just, right here to our south is Knoxville. And just over here to our southwest is Nashville. So let's see if we can kind of zoom out to kind of give you a good look of where all of those are on the map, to let you know why Lexington and really Central Kentucky is such a great location to live. So zooming back in here to our Lexington map, we can kind of take a look at the interstate system that is here. We do have New Circle Road here in the middle that goes all the way around Lexington. We've got our spokes, our roads going off like a spoke here, all the main arteries going anywhere really in Lexington you want to go. But if we take a really good look here, we can see that I-64 comes in from Frankfort, and let's just kind of get over this direction so you can see over here at Midway. But just west of Midway, you can see, if we're traveling this direction, you can see that I-64 that runs right through Lexington, it actually runs west over here to Frankfort. This is our Frankfort area. It also runs, if you stay on it going west, you're going to see that it runs right into Louisville. So if you are a person that travels and you need to have access to the interstate system, really Lexington is a great hub for that. So if we get back to our map and we take a look at Lexington, we do see that I-75 joins in right here in Lexington. It joins to I-64. So if we zoom out, we can see that if we get on I-75, we can take it north right through Georgetown. If we continue on north, right into northern Kentucky, and this will take us right up into Cincinnati. So interstate travel all the way up to Cincinnati at about an hour and maybe 25 or 30 minutes at the most to get up to Cincinnati. Now, if we stay on I-75 here in Lexington and we take it south through Richmond, it'll take you down, right through the mountains. It will take you right down in about a 3 hours and 15 minutes. It'll take you down here to Knoxville. Now, let's get back up here to our Lexington map. We also have the Bluegrass Parkway, and I don't know that we've really talked about that a lot, but the Bluegrass Parkway runs right out of Lexington here. It's this road right here, 9002 is the Bluegrass Parkway. Now, if you follow the Bluegrass Parkway, that's going to take you right down here into, you're going to pass through Lawrenceburg. You're going to come over to Bardstown. Now, Bardstown is where Maker's Mark is, and we do talk about all the different distilleries, and we're going to touch on those. This will take you straight down here to Elizabethtown, and so once you get into Elizabethtown, that will connect you onto I-65, which is what a lot of people get on if I want to go down to maybe the Panhandle of Florida, or just to get down to Nashville. You would get right here on I-65. You can see how this location here in Central Kentucky really is local to just about anywhere you need to be here in the Central Kentucky area. So location, really a great factor, and our number 2 reason for moving here into the Central Kentucky area. Let's move on to our next one.
And when we talk about affordability, when we get to reason number 5, you've got to stick with me because you're going to see why Lexington has some of the best food scenes. Hi, I'm Lisa Prather with Century 21 Simpson and Associates, and I'm also the host of the channel Living in Central Kentucky. We make new content every week showing people what it's really like to live here in Lexington, Frankfort, Georgetown, Versailles, Lawrenceburg, Richmond, all over Central Kentucky. So I'd love to be your guide. If you're thinking about moving into the Lexington, Central Kentucky area, give me a call, send me a text or an email. I'd be happy to help you make the move. Reason number 3 why people love to move into Lexington and Central Kentucky. You have to talk about the schools and the colleges and how that relates to jobs. Fayette County Public Schools is average to above average. If you ask most parents, a large school system, many new schools like the one that is here behind me, Sandersville Elementary School. This is one of the newer schools over here on the north side of Fayette County, Lexington. But if public schools are not what you're looking for, Lexington does also have the Lexington School, Sayers School, both really, really good private schools. You also have Lexington Catholic. You have Lexington Christian Academy, and then there are lots of other smaller Christian schools that are not affiliated with the Lexington Christian Academy. So if you're thinking about those type schools, check on niche.com. It'll give you all the information about what parents and teachers and other people have to say about the school system. Also check out greatschools.org. I've been checking that out here recently to kind of get a different perspective, so check that out. Really, if public school, private school is not really your jam, Lexington also has a really large homeschool population. And so whether you're wanting to homeschool or you want to get into some groups of homeschool students, really you can do some research and find those pieces of information pretty quickly. Also, we want to talk about school and education. We really have to think about UK, University of Kentucky. They offer lots of undergrad and graduate degree programs from pharmacy to medicine, biology, anything you can think of. It is really a great place to go to school. And lots of people do come into Lexington for the school system. So it might be something that you're thinking about. Maybe your kids are coming into Lexington and you're looking for maybe a home here for that reason. Lots of people come into Lexington for college, really, and then they stay here because maybe they are coming from areas that it's too warm or too cold, and the climate here is more moderate, and we do experience all 4 seasons. If UK is not really where you're going, there are other opportunities such as Transylvania. It is a liberal arts college right in downtown. Then we have the Bluegrass Community College. Lots of students come in to Bluegrass Community College. So whether you're wanting to look into maybe HVAC repair, plumbing, all different types of certifications, electrician, maybe landscape management, all those different things, you could check out Bluegrass Community College for that. Now, we did touch briefly on the jobs here in Lexington and the job market. You know, when I was doing a little bit of research, trying to figure out what we're going to do in this video, I found that the unemployment rate here in Lexington is lower than the national average. So if you're thinking about moving into Lexington, really, you could find a job here. It wouldn't be a problem. Reason number 4 is parks and outdoor lifestyle. People love outdoor living these days. We see after COVID that people are adding more outdoor living to their living spaces, to their homes, wanting to spend more time outdoors. And today we're down here at Gatton Park, the newest park here in Lexington at Town Branch. Beautiful place. I'll try to walk around and get you some shots of it. But people love this outdoor living and they love the lifestyle. Lexington is known for their parks, really the walkability to parks. People love to move into neighborhoods so that they can be really close to the park. They want to take their dogs to the dog park. They want the kids to play in the splash pad. They love the walking trails and the bike trails. So we have parks here like Raven Run and Veterans Park and Woodland Park. We have the Arboretum. People love to go down to the Arboretum. And really visiting parks like this brand new park today here, like I said, at Town Branch. Now this park offers yoga. I was looking online to see what all do they have here. They have a farm to park market. Now that was supposed to be this coming week. I'm not sure if it's going to be here or not, but walkability, wow, that's just something that so many people are interested in these days. They want to be able to leave their house, walk to the park, take their kids there, and really just enjoy time together as a family, being more active. And so we do have these parks. I want to turn this around and show it to you so you get an idea of what I'm talking about. Now this park here at Gatton at Town Branch, it's right here on the Elkhorn Creek. I want to show you these things. There's so many great things here. I've seen kids in the splash pad over there. There's dogs over at the dog park. There's a playground. There's a sitting area for parents. If you just want to sit and rest and watch your kids, there's all kinds of trails here. A great place to come and spend the afternoon. Other activities that people really love to do. We have Keeneland here, and so we have 2 weeks in the spring, 2 weeks in the fall. People love to come in. If you go past the airport during the Keeneland meet, you will see planes there from literally all over the world. People love to come in to Keeneland to watch the horse races. We have the Kentucky Horse Park. If you're not familiar with horse country and you're moving into Lexington, it might be a great place to go for you to learn all things horses there at the horse park. There is a Legacy Trail, which is a 12-mile bike trail, a scenic bike trail. Now, I haven't tried that, but I've heard so many people talk about it, and I think, well, maybe that'd be a good thing to do. I'm not sure I can ride a bike for 12 miles. Then we have a place called Old Friends Horse Farm, and what a beautiful place over in the edge of Georgetown. It is a retirement horse park. It's a farm, really, for horses that are retired, mainly race horses that are retired. You know, they are crown jewels when they're out winning million-dollar prizes, but once they're no longer able to produce, they do go to this horse farm there in Georgetown, a great place to visit. Now, we also have so many orchards here in the Lexington, Central Kentucky area. We have Boyd's Orchard. We have Eckert's Farm. People love to go there. Now you can get locally sourced honey, jams and jellies, ground flour, pastries, pies, cookies, all types of fruits and vegetables. You can go there and pick apples. You can pick blueberries, strawberries, all, different times of the year. So if that's something that you would enjoy, really it would be a great activity to do as a family. And right now we're seeing people spending lots of times here at these orchards for, pumpkins. People are getting in and out of these pumpkin places, spending time in the corn mazes, all different kind of fun, kid-related activities to do at the orchards. Reason number 5 that people love to move into Lexington and Central Kentucky is the food and the bourbon culture. Now, We're down here at the Manchester district where you'll find the James E. Pepper Distillery. There's all kinds of food places here. We've got Desperados, we've got a cantina. I see Barrel House Distilling Company. You see all these different shops behind me. We're going to take a walk around, show them to you. So continuing on with reason number 5, restaurants in the bourbon scene down here at the Manchester district. We've got to talk about some of the different places here to eat. Now, if you're going into the downtown area, you've got to check out Carson's on Main, Jeff Ruby's, just a really upscale steak restaurant, valet parking, the whole thing. You've got to really check out Dudley's on Short. Great restaurant to try out. And really, if you're looking for something just quick, get in, get out in downtown, you need to try Pies and Pints. Really, a lot of people duck in there to get some food, get some pizza and some beer before going over to Rupp Arena. It's just right across from Rupp Arena where we go over. That's where Kentucky plays basketball, and you need to learn about UK basketball and when the schedule is, because really this whole town is shut down during those times. Another place to try different types of food is down at Chevy Chase. They have so many unique places down there. Bella Cafe, great place to try. There's Bear and the Butcher. I don't think I've tried that one, but looks like a great place. I'd like to give it a try. There is Bourbon and Toulouse, a couple locations of that. There is one down in Chevy Chase. Then Charlie Brown's. I mean, people have been going to Charlie Brown's for years, so you have to try that out if you're down over there at Chevy Chase. The bourbon culture is a huge draw here in Central Kentucky. Distilleries, really are everywhere here in the Central Kentucky area. Here in Lexington, we have the Bluegrass Distillers, the James E. Pepper, we have Glens Creek Distillery, and so many more smaller distillers here. We also have Jim Beam and Buffalo Trace in Frankfort. We have Wild Turkey over in Lawrenceburg. We have Four Roses near Versailles, and also near Versailles is Woodford Reserve. So when you're close to Lexington, you are really just close to so many different distilleries that you really need to take a chance, go in and check them out. Even if you are not a bourbon connoisseur, there are so many things to learn and see at these different distilleries that you can go in. Most of them have tours, they have tastings that you can try. They all have different seasonings and flavors and aromas that they use to make their bourbon stand out from someone else. And if you don't know about the bourbon culture, you must have been hiding under a rock. If this is the first time to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe. Tap the bell for notifications so you'll be the first to know about all the market changes here in the Lexington area. Reason number 6, people move into Lexington and into Central Kentucky is the people in the community. I think after COVID, so much of the time people have spent just indoors, isolated. People, and especially families and maybe retirees, are looking for community. They want to move into a place where they know their neighbors. They want to know who lives next door, who lives down the street. What are the fun activities that you can do in the area where you live? And Lexington, Central Kentucky, there are so many things to do in a tight-knit community. You have your school system that parents can get involved with their children. You can learn the names of the other kids in your class, churches, community events, just a tight-knit community that really Southern hospitality is all about. When you open a door for someone and they look you in the eye and people speak to you and say good morning, and people actually answer, that is something that people are really interested in as they're thinking about moving into Lexington, Frankfort, Georgetown, Versailles, anywhere really in Central Kentucky. Southern hospitality, really, it's not just a quirk of people who live in the South, but people are taught to say yes ma'am and thank you and to be polite, speak to your neighbors and to make eye contact. We teach our children, you look at adults when they speak to you, you make eye contact with them. That's something that people are really interested in, and it was one of the top reasons given of why people really love Lexington and Central Kentucky. And finally, here we are. Reason number 7 why people are moving into Lexington and Central Kentucky It's known as the horse capital of the world. And why is that, you say? Well, it is a multi-billion-dollar industry here in Lexington. You can learn about breeding and raising thoroughbreds at Spendthrift Farms. You can meet the mares and the foals at Pin Oak. You can enjoy a scenic walking tour at Windstar. You can get up close and personal with broodmares at Stone Street, or you can enjoy a training tour here at Keeneland. So many different places that you can get involved and take a look at what does it really mean that you live in the horse capital of the world. People come into Lexington really from all over the world, as I was saying earlier, and people fly in, walk across the street, and they come here to enjoy just the beauty of Keeneland. We are here in the late summer, really first or second day of fall, and you can just see how beautiful it is here at Keeneland. If you've never enjoyed a horse race in person, you've got to try it. So let's do our wrap up of the 7 reasons why people are moving into Lexington and Central Kentucky. Which one really struck you? Leave it in the comments and let me know. Lisa, I really think that a lot of people want to move in because of the cost of living there or the tight-knit community. Really, we're coming for the bourbon culture. What about the horse industry? There's so many different things that make this an interesting place for people to live. So be sure to leave it in the comments. Let me know what it is. What would be your reason for moving here into Lexington? And until next time, I hope to see you around town.